What are some of those things that impact the thyroid in a negative way?
Well, here's a slam dunk pearl for your summit that's not known very often, is that the receptor sites only take thyroid hormone, but there are chemicals in our environment that will bind up in thyroid receptor sites. The most common one is chlorine. So a common question we'll ask is, if you're in an elevator in a hotel and the elevator door is open, can you tell the swimming pool's on that floor right away? And some people say, oh yeah, right away. Well, you may have a sensitivity to chlorine, and that's suggestive that they may have too much chlorine, they can't metabolize it, and it's binding up on the receptor sites for thyroid. So those are people, and we'll talk about NTI in a little while, but they do a thyroid blood test and it's normal, but they have the symptoms. And it's because the hormones in the bloodstream, it's on the highway, but it's not getting into the cell to function.
So it's blocking the shot.
Blocking the shot, exactly. Like a slam dunk, or not a slam dunk, but just a block right on the guy thinks he's going down for the big one, right? And he just he can't get it done.
Puts it on the glass, right? I got you. All right. And so chlorine.
So for those people, you need a chlorine shower filter, because the most common exposure to chlorine is in the shower. We inhale the steam, and there's chlorine in the steam, and it goes right through our lungs. So if you have that possible sensitivity, it's worth the investment in a chlorine shower filter. And what you notice also is your skin is nicer after a while, your hair is nicer, just from not being exposed to so much chlorine.
So chlorine is number one. What else you have for us?
Bromide, fluoride, there are three in that family of chemicals that bind on the receptor sites. Chlorine is primary, and then fluoride, and that's in the toothpaste and things. Some people would do better without fluoride, and there's a big argument about fluoride. It's understandable, but some people may do better. And then bromine, which is in some of the baked goods that people eat. So that's in the chemicals. The next thing that inhibits thyroid function is foods, and that if we have a sensitivity to foods, well, I'll get to the sensitivity in a minute. There are foods that are called goitrogenic, meaning that they may inhibit thyroid function. And those include the cruciferous family of vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower.
Is that just the raw form of the cruciferous vegetables, or cooked as well?
I don't know. I haven't seen a study that differentiates the two. And it's not many people that have that. Those foods are really good for you for many, many reasons. But if you notice that you're still getting the thyroid symptoms and you're applying some protocols that you learn in this summit, and you aren't quite getting it yet, you might eliminate the cruciferous vegetables for a period of time, maybe a couple of weeks, to see all of a sudden, oh, my feet aren't cold anymore, or I'm feeling warmer, or any of the other symptoms.
And that's because of the goitrogens, correct?
Correct.
What about soy and millet as well?
Soy is one of those that it's a really good question. It falls in the category of impacting on thyroid, possibly impacting on thyroid function in a negative way.
Gotcha. Okay. So we've got the goitrogenic foods, but what about other foods?
Really good question, and comes into my world of expertise, and that is gluten sensitivity with or without celiac disease. And we know...
What does that mean real quick, with or without celiac? Because a lot of people think gluten is only a problem if you are celiac.
Really good question. Our knowledge about gluten being a problem for people and some people came up through the ranks of studying celiac disease. That was considered at one time the only manifestation of a gluten sensitivity. We now know the science is very clear, and there are many papers that say, no, that's not true. That's one manifestation. It's not even that common compared to the others, and it's very important, is celiac disease. About 1% of the population may suffer from celiac disease, whether they know it or not. But the studies currently are saying anywhere from 6 to 20% of the population may be suffering from non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And that's much more important for the numbers of people that may be affected. So when I say with or without celiac disease, it's for those people who still haven't been exposed to more current literature that says celiac is one manifestation and not the only manifestation. Really important to differentiate, because many doctors still think that if you have a gluten sensitivity, it's going to manifest in your gut as celiac disease. And that's not true. It may manifest as celiac disease, but that's nowhere near the most common manifestation.